Ya, jelas.
Ya, baik.
Siap.
Ya, terima kasih sudah
Oke,
dibukakan.
saya jadikan host. Terima kasih.
Ya, terima kasih. Ya, selamat sore saya ucapkan bagi semuanya yang sudah bergabung di sini. Tidak menyangka sudah ada 7 participants yang bergabung sebelum kita mulai acara ini ya. Oke, ya. Saya ingin menyapa satu-satu terlebih dahulu yang sudah bergabung di sini. Sebelumnya mohon maaf, apakah suara saya bisa terdengar dengan cukup jelas di sini? Ya, oke. Cukup jelas ya. Terima kasih. Oke. Ya, saya akan menyapa satu-satu dulu di sini. Ada Miss Betty. Halo Miss Betty.
Halo.
Lama di sini tidak bergabung dengan kami. Ya,
Iya,
mudah-mudahan.
saya lupa terus satunya.
Ya, oke. So welcome back again ya, Miss Betty. It's a pleasure to meet you here again. Ya, oke. And then we have Mbak Konita. Yes, welcome Mbak Konita. Is this the first time that you join us? But I guess you already joined few times ya. Okay. And also Mbak Loren. Okay, welcome back Mbak Loren. And then Pak Ramasdin. Yes, so glad to see you earlier, yeah, much earlier here today. Yeah. And then also Ufaisa Sain, welcome. And then Michael Nathanael, welcome. And also Naura. Okay. All right. So I'm afraid that this will be our last meeting. That is meeting 24 in our TOEFL preparation course. Yeah. So we have covered all the 3 skills together in the 24 meetings. Yeah. So 6 meetings were allocated for listening, and then the 12 meetings were allocated for structure and written expression, and finally the last 6 meetings were allocated for reading. Okay, and today we have already in the 24 meeting. Okay, but hopefully, personally, I also expect that this program will continue after our 24 meeting right now. Yeah. Okay. My expectation is that in the next session, the second session of the TOEFL preparation course, we are able to have a practice, yeah, on the TOEFL test. So my scenario is that I will give you some exercises via email or via Telegram or via WhatsApp, and then you do the exercises before the meeting starts. And then in the meeting here, so we just allocate the time to have a discussion for the exercises that you have done previously. Yeah, so that's my expectation. Okay. Oke, welcome yang bagusan. Oke, ada Mbak siapa di sini, Mbak Nuri ya? Oke, alright. Nah, so in our last meeting, that is in reading session, how many skills that we have learned from the very beginning? Anyone knows? Ada berapa skill yang sudah kita pelajari sebelumnya? in reading. So I try to, cover one meeting with one skill in reading. Yeah, because reading, it takes more time. We need to read the passage. We need to do this, the exercises, and then also the explanation for each of the exercises. So for reading, we have one skill for one meeting. Yeah, so it means that we already learned the 5 skills previously. Yeah. Anyone still remember what was the first skill that we learned? So if this is your very first time that you join our meeting, and if you want to see the previous meetings, so you can look up in the YouTube, yeah, because we also upload all of the recordings here in YouTube with the account of Pak Arif Setiawan. Yeah, so you can check our previous meetings from the first meeting until the last meeting today, that is the 24th meeting. Yeah. So in the first skill in reading, we learn about main idea. And then how to recognize, how to identify the main idea, I already explained in the first meeting of reading section. So if you want to look up what is the how to find the main idea, you can go to the YouTube channel and then find the video in meeting 4. Yeah, because meeting 1 is allocated for listening, meeting 2 and 3 were allocated for structure, and finally meeting 4 was allocated for reading. Okay, and then after the main idea, the second skill that we learn is about the stated detailed question. Okay, the stated detailed question is a specific question that is referring to a certain paragraph or certain line in the reading passage. Okay, and then after that we have the opposite, that is unstated detailed question. In the unstated detailed question, we are expected to find the answers that are not in line, that are not available in the reading passage. Yeah, so that's skill number 3, to find the unstated detailed question. And then skill number 4 was implied detailed question. So in the implied detailed question, you need to be more careful, because the information that we are looking for in the 4 possible choices is not available directly or explicitly in the reading passage. However, you have to draw a conclusion for the answer that is available in the reading passage. Okay, and then finally, the last skill that we learned in the previous meeting, skill kelima apa itu? So our 5th skill was vocabulary in context. Yeah, okay. Sometimes we can never predict, yeah, about what topic is given in the reading passage. When the topic is familiar with our knowledge, yeah, with our background of study, so that will help us a lot. However, when the topic is unfamiliar or less familiar, so we are expected to guess the meaning of a certain word in the reading passage based on the clues surrounding the sentence itself. Okay, so I already give you the tips for vocabulary in context in the last meeting, that is meeting 20, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you can go to the meeting 20 and then find what are the tips that I give you, how to find the vocabulary question in the reading passage. Okay, so right now we are going to cover the last skill, that is about where questions. Yeah, about where questions. So sometimes in the TOEFL test, you are required to determine in which paragraph, yeah, or in which line that we can find the information, a specific information, yeah, that is written by the author. Okay, so for example, the meaning of specific term, yeah, for example, the meaning of sulfuric acid is given in line blah blah blah. And then there are 4 possible choices that start from line 1 until 4, for example, and then option B, line 5 until 8, for example, and things like that one. So we have to figure it out which line that is given the definition of sulfuric acid, for example. Yeah. Okay. So let's begin with I want to start the screen sharing right now. Okay, is it visible, my screen sharing right now? Hopefully so. And hopefully there is no more, what is it, black box, yeah, in the screen. No, right? Okay. So skill number 6, we have the where questions. So sometimes we are required to determine in which paragraph or in which line that a piece of information is found. Okay. So take a look on the example here. Okay, please read the very short paragraph below. Before we go to the question where in the passage, I challenge you, what is the main idea of this short reading passage? What is the main idea? Anyone would like to respond to my question by typing the answer in the chat box, yeah, as usual. Yep. So what is the main idea in this reading passage? We are talking about, yeah, okay, the first sentence. Okay. So the main idea here is we pay attention to these 2 words, yeah. So I wonder how to pronounce this. Is the same as the second one here, but this is capital and this is capital. Yeah, so that's almost the same, just one sound that distinguishes between those 2 words. Yeah, okay. So the main idea here is thus the difference between those 2 words, yeah, capital and capital. Okay. However, even though they are differently pronounced, but both their spellings and their meanings are quite closely related. Jadi masih tetap ada hubungannya di situ. So let's see. The meaning of capital is the location of the center of government. Okay. Jadi lokasi dari pusat pemerintahan. Yeah, so that's capital. While capital is the actual building where the government officials meet. Oke, jadi capital adalah bentuk fisiknya, bentuk fisik bangunannya di situ, ya, di mana pemerintahan itu berjalan. Ya, oke. The actual building where the government officials meet. Okay, so that's why in the US, for example, the Capitol building is located in Washington, D.C., which is the capital of the US. Yeah. Okay. Now, the example of the question here is where in the passage. Ya, menggunakan kata where in the passage. does the author define the word capital? Ya. Jadi di mana dalam bacaan si penulis atau si pengarang itu memberikan definisi dari kata capital. Okay, so how to answer this question? Yeah, it's very simple actually. So just we go to the keyword. Yang ditanyakan adalah definition of the word capital. See? So because this sudah digarisbawahi ya, karena kita hanya contoh saja di sini. A capital is the location of the center of government. So this one is available in lines 4 until 5. Ya, ada di baris keempat dan baris kelima ya di sini. Tadi namanya ada yang sudah menjawab Mbak Lauren ya tadi ya. Oke. Ya. Kalau untuk baris 1 dan 2 di sini tadi menjawab A ya Mbak Lauren, itu hanya sebagai prolognya saja ya, di mana kita memperkenalkan ada dua kata yang dibahas, yaitu adalah kata capital dan capital. Tetapi untuk yang definisinya dari capital itu ada mulai dibahas pada baris keempat dan kelima. Ya, oke. It happens that in the real TOEFL test tidak mungkin bacaannya itu akan sesingkat ini. Jadi mungkin kita akan menjumpai bacaan yang panjangnya sekitar 30 atau bahkan sampai 40 baris ya di situ. Ya, but don't worry because in every 5 lines usually there is a number like this ya on the left ya. Biasanya di sebelah kiri di sini. Nah, itu akan ada nomor ya, bilangan di sini yang menunjukkan baris kelipatan 5 di sini. Jadi kita tidak perlu menghitung dari awal di sini baris 1 2 3 tidak ya, tapi kita bisa langsung ke misalkan kalau ke baris ke-27. Nah, kita bisa melihat dari nomor 25 di situ kemudian maju atau turun ke bawah 2 baris, yaitu baris ke-27 misalkan seperti itu. Ya. Oke, I hope this one is clear ya. This is the example. Okay. And this is another example when we have the CPT, computer TOEFL test ya. Computer based. Nah, click on the sentence, bacanya masih sama ya di sini. Click on the sentence in the passage that mentions where the US capital can be found. Jadi kita diminta untuk mengklik kalimat saja ya dalam bacaan di mana US capital can be found. US capital can be found in Washington DC yang merupakan ibu kota dari Amerika Serikat. So, if you have the CPT, nah ini untuk kalimatnya ini bisa kita klik sebagai jawaban dari pertanyaan where the US capital can be found. Oke, seperti ini. So, let's go to how to identify the question. Biasanya untuk pertanyaan where in the passage itu pasti diawali dengan kata where di awal. Ya, in the WS question. So, where in the passage does the author mention blah blah blah? Where in the passage can we find blah 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 and so on. Whereas in the CPT kita diminta untuk click on the sentence, ya, click on the sentence that indicates blah blah blah. Okay. Nah, so how to answer the questions? That's very simple. Like what I told you earlier, that you need to choose a keyword or idea in the question. Jadi informasi apa yang ditanyakan atau perlu kita lihat di dalam bacaan itu. Setelah mengetahui informasi apa yang perlu kita cari di dalam bacaan, maka kita langsung menuju ke bagian ke paragraf di mana kita bisa menemukan keyword yang bersangkutan. Okay. And then finally, you need to choose the answer that contains the keyword or idea. Okay. Tips di sini apabila paragrafnya itu tidak terlalu panjang, biasanya pada opsi jawaban itu satu opsi jawaban dia akan ada di paragraf 1 misalkan, ya. Kemudian opsi B dia akan ada di paragraf kedua, opsi C di paragraf ketiga dan seterusnya seperti itu. Apabila paragrafnya tidak terlalu panjang, ya. Oke. But sometimes selain kita diminta untuk menemukan pada line berapa di mana informasi itu bisa diperoleh, kita juga mungkin akan diberikan pertanyaan di mana di paragraf mana kita bisa menemukan informasi itu ada. Ya, so on which paragraph that we can find information about blah blah blah. For example, like that one. Oke, cukup jelas ya di sini. Now, I want to start with the exercise. Yeah. So for skill 6 here, we have a short passage. Yeah. 3 paragraphs, that's very short. And then you need to look for some specific information from number 1 until number 3. Number 2 is the example when the question is taken from the CPT, yeah, computer-based TOEFL. So, when you have clicked on the sentence in the passage, ya, silahkan untuk nanti mengirimkan jawaban pada P berapa dan S berapa, ya. Jadi P, ya, so P represents the paragraph. For example, paragraph 1. So you just type P1 and then S. S means sentence. Misalkan sentence 2. Ya, so P1 S2. Nah, seperti itu jawabannya. Ya. Okay. I give you 5 minutes. I guess that's enough. And then as usual, I need your participation. I need your response to send your answer in the chat box. Yeah. Question number 1, 2, and 3, please. Oke, masih saya tunggu untuk respon jawabannya di sini. Sudah ada 12 peserta ya yang bergabung sore hari ini. Ya, welcome. Ya, Mas Yofna, welcome. Mbak Makia, welcome. Oke, thank you for the response, Mbak Leonie. Oke. Untuk yang nomor keduanya masih kita tunggu ya, Mbak Leonie. Oke. Thank you. Ufaisa sign. Okay, thank you, Michael Nathanael. Yes. Untuk menjawab nomor 2, di situ silakan untuk mengetikkan which paragraph ya. Which paragraph? So type P, yeah. For example, P1 if it refers to paragraph 1, yeah, and then also which sentence, yeah, in that paragraph. Misalkan kalau dalam paragraf 1 kalimat 1 ya P1 S1. Ya, paragraf kedua kalimat ketiga misalkan tidak ada ya. Hanya 2 kalimat. Paragraf kedua kalimat pertama ya so just type P2 S1 ya. Oke. Ya, sudah ada 5 yang masuk jawabannya di sini. Yeah, thank you, Miss Betty. Okay, yes, thank you, Mbak Lauren. Oke, saya akan ke main idea-nya dulu ya. So, what are we reading? What are we talking about in passage 1? What is the main idea actually in passage 1 here? What are we talking about? Anyone? Yeah, okay. So we are talking about a geyser. Yeah, particularly geyser in Yellowstone. Yeah, so Yellowstone is located in the U.S. Yeah, Yellowstone National Park. Yeah, okay. And the name here is the Old Faithful. Yeah, Old Faithful. That is a geyser in Yellowstone area. Okay. Okay, right. Thank you, Mbak Magia, for the response. Now, in number 1, we need to find, yeah, in which passage, yeah, in which paragraph, which line, yeah, that the author mentions the heats the water in a geyser. Yeah. Okay. So, what is the keyword here? The keyword here is heats. Yeah. Heats the water in geyser. Okay. Yeah. So that's the what is it? The keyword. Yeah. So the author mentioned what heats the water in a geyser. Apa sih yang memanaskan air di dalam geyser? Yeah. And the answer here is the volcanic magma. Yeah. Okay. So here. A geyser occurs when rainwater seeps into the ground and volcanic magma beneath the surface heats it. Ya, jadi yang membuat di situ menjadi panas adalah volcanic magma beneath the surface. Ya, so the answer here is lines 1 and 2. Okay, so congratulations. The answer here is alpha. Ya, oke. Like someone who messaged me untuk menanyakan apakah sudah mulai di sini. Oke. Yep. Okay, so question number 2 now. Click on the sentence in the passage that indicates how often Old Faithful erupt. Okay, so mohon maaf di sini ada yang belum mendapatkan email. Oke, saya akan kirimkan linknya ya di sini. Okay. Yes. So what is the keyword here? The keyword in question number 2 is how often. Yeah. So the frequency that Old Faithful erupts. Okay. So, ya sudah menjawab nomor 2 tadi ada Mbak Loren, ada Ufai Sain, ada Mbak Makia ya. Oke, semua menjawab paragraf kedua P2S2 ya, termasuk juga Mas Michael Nathanael ya. Thank you. Oke. So sentence 2 ya. Oke, sudah benar di sini. And then the keyword here is erupts ya. Oke. Yes, that's erupts here. Which erupts in a high arc of steam about once an hour. Ya, jadi frekuensinya adalah setiap 1 jam sekali erupsi di situ. Ya, oke. So this refers to the second sentence. Ya, jadi hanya ada 2 kalimat di paragraf kedua di sini dan informasinya ini tersedia pada kalimat kedua. Jadi jawabannya adalah P2S2. Ya, oke. So this one. Okay. Congratulations. And finally, number 3, where does in the author state how long it has been since the volcano erupted at Yellowstone? Yeah. Okay, so what is the keyword in question number 3? Itu ada kata erupted muncul lagi di sini. Okay. Kemudian ada kata how long. Yeah. So when the question is about how long, so the answer or the response that will about the durations. Ya, jadi ada apakah berapa minggu, berapa bulan atau berapa tahun di situ ya. And then most of you, all of you response number 3 is delta ya. So line 7 until 8. Kita lihat di sini ya. So this is line 5, 6, 7 and 8 ya di sini. Okay. Right. So there have not been any volcanic eruptions in the Yellowstone area for 70,000 years. Yeah, okay. So 70,000 years is the duration, yeah? Okay, how long? So the answer here is 70,000 years. So in lines 7 until 8. Yeah, okay. Congratulations all the answers. Ya, semua benar nampaknya jawabannya di sini ya. Number 1 until 3. Okay. Are there any questions for passage 1?
Mbak Andi nanti jadi.
Sorry, can you repeat once again? Ada yang mau bertanya tadi? Oh, tidak ada. Oke. Baiklah, kalau tidak ada kita lanjutkan ke passage 2 ya. Okay. So, in passage 2, we have 2 paragraphs, but it's maybe it's longer than the first one, yeah. Okay. So, try to answer number 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Please take your time. Ya, silakan untuk bisa mengirimkan jawabannya. Mencicil juga tidak apa-apa. Yes, thank you, Mas Yovna. Yes, thank you, Mbak Konita. Thank you, Mas Michael Nathanael. Oke. Sudah ada 3 jawaban yang masuk. Kita tunggu partisipasinya yang lain. Yes, thank you, Mbak Loken. Nampaknya pada kompak ya. Elm in Slime ya, Pak Kamasdin. Oke. Ya. Thank you, Miss Betty. Ya, sudah ada 50% yang mengirimkan jawaban, kita langsung diskusikan saja ya. Oke. Alright, so anyone wants to say what is the main idea? So what are we reading about here in passage 2? Any idea what are we reading? Main idenya apa? Kita bahas tentang apa di sini di passage 2? Ya. So this reminds me when I was in high school, there was a subject called IPBA, ya, ilmu pengetahuan bumi dan antariksa. Yeah, so that's kind of geography, but it's more like the pengetahuan bumi dan antariksa ya. Jadi planet-planet yang ada di galaksi kita, kemudian banyak hal yang kita pelajari ya waktu itu. Ya, astronomi, ya, that's right. We are talking about the astronomy, ya. Astronomi ya, tidak astrologi ya di sini ya. Oke. A new challenge for NASA. Yes, exactly, Mas Michael Nathanael ya. New challenge for NASA. So NASA, that stands for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, ya, Badan Antariksa Amerika. Oke, dan itu sekaligus menjawab pertanyaan dari nomor 4 di sini. So click on the sentence in the passage that states what the initials NASA stands for. Ya, ini sebenarnya kita namakan sebagai acronyms, ya. Oke. So initials or acronyms, ya. Kita membacanya itu adalah NASA, bukan NASA, but we read as NASA. So that's acronym, ya. Okay, and at the same time, so we already find the meanings or the what it stands for in the first sentence of first paragraph, ya. So the answer here is in paragraph 1 and in sentence 1. And then if we have to determine the lines, so the line is available in line 1 until line 3, yeah? Line 1, 2, and 3, this one. Yeah. Okay, congratulations, number 4. Number 5 now. What is the keyword yang kita perlukan untuk menjawab pertanyaan ini? Ya. So about NASA's new challenge, ya, after Project Mercury. Ya, NASA's new challenge after Project Mercury. So in your answer, all of you agrees that number 5, the answer is alpha. Ya, lines 3 until 5, 3 until 4. Okay, let's take a look. So the second sentence of paragraph 1, yeah, I believe this one. Okay. The new challenge was to send 2 men into space at the same time rather than 1. Yeah, so this one is the new challenge, ya. Sudah match dengan pertanyaannya new challenge after Project Mercury. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the answer number 5 is A, alpha. Thank you, Mbak Makia, for the response. Okay. And then sentence 6. Okay. Click on the sentence in the passage that explains the derivation of the word Gemini. Yeah. Gemini, ya. Correct me if I'm wrong. As far as I remember, ini dibaca Gemini, ya. Okay. So, what was your answer? That's number 6. P2 means paragraph 2, ya. Not P2 means 7 in Japanese. Okay, P2 S2, ya. Paragraph kedua, sentence number 2, ya. Okay. So here we have, this is the first sentence, and we go to the second sentence. The name Gemini might seem appropriate because it is the name of one of the constellations of stars in the sky. Yeah, okay. But that's not the real reason for the choice of the name. And this one, yeah, same. So P, paragraph 2, sentence 2. Okay. Yep. Congratulations, that's the correct answer. And then we go to the number 7 here, that the author describes composition of Gemini constellation. Okay. All of you agrees that the answer here is line 8 until 10. Let's have a look. Line 8 until 10. So that means we go to this sentence. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the constellation Gemini received its name because it consists of 2 very bright stars. Yeah. Okay. Yep, correct. That's the answer. Yeah. So C, number 7. Okay. Okay. Jadi passage 1 and passage 2, the questions have been answered successfully, ya. Okay, congratulations for everybody. Ya, senang saya semua jawabannya sudah benar, tidak ada yang salah di sini. Okay. Now we go to the longer passage. So probably that's better if you just take a screenshot first on your laptop or mobile phone. Silakan untuk di screenshot terlebih dahulu. Kemudian kita akan ke pertanyaannya. Ya, oke. So we are going to read about Betsy Ross. Ya, oke. So if you are majoring in history, I believe that you all know that who is Betsy Ross, ya. So the one that created the first flag of the United States, ya. Oke. Silakan sudah di screenshot. Nah, kita akan ke pertanyaan 8 sampai 12, ya. 8 sampai 12. Oke. Or if I make it smaller like this, mungkin I'm not sure if you can still read this. Okay, thank you for the confirmation, Mbak Makia. Yeah. Okay, please take your time, Mbak Makia. Okay, no worries. Or maybe you can answer number tab tertutup juga ya untuk soalnya di sini. So you can just screenshot here, sudah di screenshot ya di sini. Kemudian kita akan ke pertanyaannya. So this is the question that you can also have a screenshot ya. Oke. Thank you, Mbak Leonie, for the response. Number 10, yeah, not yet, yeah. So this is number 10. Thank you for Ulfaisa Zain. Complete, yeah? Okay. Thank you also for Kunita Insiana. Thank you. Mbak Leonie, thank you. Finally complete, yeah? Okay. Yeah, thank you, Pak Kamastin. Still waiting for the others. Thank you, Mas Michael Nathanael. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mas Yovna Daniel. I guess number 8, we have 2 different ideas, yeah. Some of you answer B, and then the other answer C, yeah. Yeah, okay. So, Mbak Leonie, thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, so that's supposed to be paragraph and the sentence, yeah. So P and S, yeah. Okay. P, paragraph, S, sentence, yeah. Okay, shall we discuss together ya? Kita diskusikan saja. Okay. So start from number 8. What is the keyword? Yeah, the keyword here is a group that came to visit Betsy Ross. Ya, jadi sekelompok orang yang bertandang ke rumahnya Betsy Ross. Nah, itu ada di paragraf ada di line berapa ya di sini? Oke. So, let's see. Biasanya ya itu kalau pertanyaannya itu di awal, maka mungkin jawabannya juga masih yang di bagian-bagian atas ya di sini ya. Oke, let's see. Oke. Line 1 until 3 apakah ada di sini? Line 1 to 3 tidak ada ya di sini. So this is just explanation about the who is Betsy Ross ya. So the first flag of the United States is believed by a number of scholars to be somewhat questionable ya. Oke, apakah Betsy Ross memang benar atau tidak di situ ya. And then we go to the second paragraph. Nah, in 1776 ya, a group that include George Washington ya, came to the workshop in Philadelphia where Betsy Ross worked as a seamstress. Yeah, okay. So here I guess this statement represents the question number 8. The question number 8 here is the author mentioned a group that came to visit Betsy Ross. Ternyata di rumahnya tetapi di tempat dia bekerja ya di sini ya. Came to the workshop in Philadelphia where Betsy Ross worked as a seamstress. Yeah, okay. So my answer here is the information is available in lines 4 until 6. Yeah, this one. The answer is B. Okay. Yeah. And sentence question 9. Click on the sentence in the passage that states when the flag was adopted by the Congress. Yeah. So the keyword here is the flag that was adopted by the Congress. Okay. So in which paragraph is it? Paragraph 2 is not yet. We have not yet discussed this. But let's start. Let's continue to paragraph 3. Yeah. Okay. Here, the flag with the stars and stripes was definitely adopted by the Congress on June 14, 1777. Yeah. So this information is available in the third paragraph and the first sentence. Yeah. So this one is the answer for question number 9. Yeah. So paragraph 3 and the first sentence. Okay. All right. So question number 10 now. The author describes the first historical reference to Betsy Ross as the creator of the first US flag in di baris kemana di sini? Okay. Let's see. So what is the keyword here? Yeah. The creator of the first US flag. Nah, kita lihat di sini. Yeah. Most of you answer. Wait a minute. Delta, yeah, I guess. Even though some of you might answer C, yeah, line 10 until 11 or 12 until 15, yeah, 10 until 11 or 12 until 15, yeah. Okay, so the creator of the first US flag, yeah. Here, however, there is no mention of Betsy Ross as the one who made the flag. Ya, oke. Bukan ini ya, masih belum di sini. Kita ke line 12 dulu di sini. Ya, the first time that there is a documented reference to Betsy Ross as the one who made the flag came more than a century later when her grandson gave a speech to the Philadelphia Historical Society indicating that the family had passed down the story for 100 years that grandmother Betsy had made the flag. Jadi ini adalah klarifikasi dari apa yang sebelumnya itu disangkal bahwa tidak ada referensi bahwa Betsy Ross itu adalah orang yang pertama kali mendesain dari US flag ya di sini. Okay, so this one is the clarification. Yeah, so the answer here is number 10 delta ya, line 12 until 15. Yeah. Okay, number 11. Click on the sentence in the passage that explains how Philadelphians responded to Betsy Ross' story. Ya. Oke, jadi cukup jelas dan ini merupakan kelanjutan dari pertanyaan sebelumnya ya di sini. So the keyword here is Philadelphians responded to Betsy Ross' story. Ya, jadi ada di paragraf 4. First sentence tadi kan klarifikasinya. Nah, kemudian responnya ya ada di kalimat berikutnya. So, Philadelphians enthusiastically supported the story. Yeah, this one. So, paragraph 4, sentence 2 ya, P4 S2. Yeah, so that's the response. Okay. And finally, number 12. Where in the passage does the author discuss how historians have reacted to Betsy Ross' story? Ya, bagaimana reaksinya para sejarawan ya di sini terhadap Betsy Ross' story? Okay, most of you answered delta ya. Okay, somewhere at the end ya, lines 18 to 19. Let's take a look here. Nah. So, ya, sudah langsung terjawab ya di sini. Many historians dispute this story. Ya, oke. Menyangkal ya, tidak bisa menerima di sini ya. And certainly no one has been able to come up with indisputable proof that it was Betsy who made the first flag. Ya, oke. Oke, so ini adalah reaksi dari para sejarawan di sini tentang pernyataan Betsy Ross ya di sini. Okay, so dispute this story. So the answer here is lines 18 to 19. Ya, delta. Okay, congratulations. I guess most of you have got all correct answers meskipun salah satu atau salah dua ya wajar ya di sini ya. Oke. Jadi pertanyaan 1 sampai nomor 12. Oke. Bisa sambil dikirimkan jawabannya di sini karena ini adalah latihan terakhir untuk skill 6 di sini. How many correct answers that you made for question 1 until 12? 1 sampai 12. Ada sudah menjawab benar berapa di sini? Sorry, my voice is a bit weird, yeah. So I'm having like a flu here, not quite good, yeah, for today. Ya, benar semua ya. Congratulations, Pak Loren. Oke, yang lainnya ditunggu. Hopefully that di atas 10 ya benarnya di sini. Ya. Oke, others. 11 out of 12. Oke, Mas Michael, thank you. Miss Betty, ya, 11 out of 12. Oke, thank you. Nah, 11 out of 12 ya. Pak Ramasdin, mantap. Ya, oke, 11 out of 12. Mbak Leonie, mantap. Ya, oke. Ya, special congratulations for Mbak Loren ya. Benar semua di sini. Oke. Ya. Itu, jadi kita sudah menghabiskan kurang lebih 1 jam untuk skill yang ke-6 ini. Jadi mulai dari skill yang barusan bergabung atau yang tadi terlambat untuk bergabung, itu ada 6 skill yang sudah kita pelajari di dalam reading. Pertama adalah dari main idea, kemudian stated detailed question, unstated detailed question, implied detailed question, vocabulary in context, and finally this one is the where questions. Ya, sudah ada 6 skill yang kita pelajari. And now it is time to apply, ya, to apply all those skills in the TOEFL review exercise, skills 1 through 6. Yeah, skills 1 through 6. Okay, this one. Okay. Maybe if I can just make it smaller like this, so one page. Nah, seperti ini. Apakah masih bisa terlihat, teman-teman? Atau is it still visible to all of you? Atau saya buat lebih besar saja, tapi menjawabnya di sini satu per satu di sini. Oh, masih. Ya, still visible ya. Good. Yeah. Maybe you can just pinch and zoom the display if you have a cell phone. But if you use the laptop, I guess that's still visible ya. Kecuali ini mungkin ada, ya di laptop masih bisa. Oke. Agak kurang jelas ya di situ untuk bacaannya. Ya, silakan Mbak Konita. Excuse me for one moment ya. Or maybe we can just discuss question 1 until 5. The first 5 questions is fine. So you can just send the answer. Question number 1 until 5, yeah? Okay. Thank you, Mbak Leonie. For question number 4, actually, you can just type the word. Yeah, so single word to represent the synonym of mainly. Yeah. So probably this, yeah, it's not very clear. The new antlers are soft knobbed. Yeah, so I guess that's soft knobbed. Covered with velvety hairs. Yeah, covered with velvety hairs. Later the year, as the seasons progress, the antlers grow and harden into solid. Yeah, grow and harden into solid. Yeah, grow and harden into solid branches. In the middle of winter, the full-grown antlers fall off and decay. Yeah, fall off and decay on the ground. Yeah. Thank you, Ulfaisa Sen, for the response. And Miss Betty, thank you also, Mbak Leonie. So that's efficient, yeah. Thank you, Mas Yovna. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Okay, this one. Yeah, okay. I will just make it larger ya. Saya akan besarkan aja di sini. Okay, yeah. So we are going to discuss the response here one by one. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What is the main idea? So that's question number 1. Yeah. So it's to review all of the skills we have learned. Yeah. So this passage mainly discusses, yeah. So one of the criteria to the question about main idea is using mainly discuss, ya. Jadi ini bacaan ini membahas tentang apa di sini. Nah, okay. So let's see, most of you answered C, ya. Okay. The lifestyle of the deer. It's not quite precise ya if we talk about lifestyle ya, tidak ada lifestyle-nya deer. The seasons of the year. Well, it talks about maybe about the season of the year ya, like we have the winter, ya, like the spring ya, and so on. Ada memang dalam bacaan tapi itu tidak mencakup dari apa seluruh isi bacaan ya, hanya sebagian ya, just a piece of information ya in the passage ya. Tidak tepat juga ya di sini. And then the antlers of the deer. Okay, so option C. Yang ternyata semuanya menjawab C. Okay, so this is the answer ya. The antlers of the deer. Ya, jadi apa namanya? Tanduk ya di situ. Okay. And then how antlers are used. This is also too specific ya, too detail. Tidak menjelaskan semua dari isi bacaan di sini ya. Bukan hanya how antlers are used. But here the antlers of the deer is the correct response. Yeah, C. Okay. Okay, good. And then the second one, the deer is called a distinctive animal. Yeah, so if you know what is distinctive, ya ini ada kata kuncinya distinctive. Ya. Binatang yang khas, ya, yang unik, ya, berbeda dengan yang lain, ya itu maksudnya distinctive, ya. Karena apa di sini? Ya. And then from the first sentence, actually the answer is available, ya. Okay. Because it is easily recognized by the antlers that adorn most species of male deer. Jadi mudah dikenali dengan adanya tanduk yang ada di terutama pada rusa jantan ya di situ ya, species of male deer ya. Oke. Oke. Kalau yang A di sini coba kita lihat ya. Uses its antlers to recognize others. Others ini maksudnya apa di sini? Ya. Jadi ini bukan melibatkan kita sebagai human being ya, tetapi untuk apa namanya? Mengenali satu dengan yang lain sesama spesies, maksudnya begitu. Ya, sepenangkap saya begitu. Dan itu kurang tepat sebenarnya untuk opsi A di sini ya. Oke. Untuk mengenali easily recognize di sini itu kita mudah melihat ya untuk deer itu dengan cara melihat tanduknya di situ yang sangat spesial, sangat khas di situ ya. Tapi untuk recognize others ini tidak ya. Untuk yang A ini tidak di sini ya. Kemudian the deer has many species. Okay. ada di sini informasinya ya, that adorn most species of male deer, tapi itu tidak ada hubungannya dengan spesies atau jenis dari rusa itu sendiri ya. Jadi kurang tepat untuk jawaban yang B di sini ya. Nah, yang saya setuju paling tepat adalah opsi jawaban yang C. Karena di sini the deer has antlers ya, dia mempunyai tanduk di situ. Ya. Oke ya. And then how about D? Has to fight for its mates. Tidak juga ya, tidak tepat juga ya di sini ya. Oke. Jadi jawabannya sudah benar sebelumnya di sini ya, C ya, has antlers. Nah, itu yang membedakan antara rusa dengan hewan yang lainnya. Dia mempunyai tanduk yang merupakan ciri khas ya, terutama pada rusa jantan di situ. Ya. Oke, C, that's the answer. And then number 3. Oke, ada yang tahu di sini untuk adorn? Ya, pada paragraf pertama di sini ya. That adorn most species of male deer. Ya, oke. Nah, oke, jawabannya apa ya? Oke, sudah mengecek di kampus Mbak Lauren di sini untuk menghiasi ya, decorate. Ya, so that's the correct answer actually ya. Number 3 that's B ya, to decorate ya. To cover, menyelimuti, kurang tepat ya di sini ya. To bother, tidak juga ya, untuk mengganggu, tidak, untuk bersembunyi tidak ya, malah dia kelihatan kalau dia bersembunyi masih kelihatan tanduknya ya di situ. So the correct answer here is to decorate ya. Oke, B. Oke. Oke, question 4 here, silakan ditentukan untuk sinonim dari kata mainly ya. Pada menjawab apa nih? Primarily ya. Primarily, yes. Oke. Let's see. Mainly this. Nah ini ya, sentence 2 ya. These antlers are used by males primarily. Ya, oke. So dengan kata primary. Sebentar, saya akan setting page display. Nah, supaya tidak loncat-loncat. Oke. Kata primarily itu sama dengan mainly, ya, especially, ya, oke. So that's correct. The answer it is primarily. Ya, tadi ada yang menjawab typo nampaknya tadi ya. Sudah dibenarkan. Primarily, yes. Oke. Oke, number 4 has been answered, and number 5. Oke, ini ciri dari pertanyaan apa? Kalau masih ingat, ada kata not di sini, ya. So this one is what we call the unstated detail question. Jadi kita mencari jawaban yang tidak benar atau bertentangan dengan bacaan atau informasinya tidak tersedia dalam bacaan, ya. So it is not mentioned in the passage that the deer uses its antlers. Ya, kita cermati dulu satu persatu di sini ya. Oke. The first one is to battle other deer. Apakah untuk bertarung dengan rusa yang lainnya? Apakah ada di sini? Ya, ada ya di sini ya. Used by the males primarily to fight. Ya, benar, ada di sini. Oke. Kemudian yang B, to get a mate, ya, untuk mencari pasangannya di sini. Nah, either for mate. Ada ya. Jadi dengan menunjukkan kejantanannya dia ingin mencari pasangannya di sini ya. Oke. Yang betina ya maksudnya di sini. Betul ya di sini. Jadi kita eliminasi. Kemudian yang C, to become a leader. Masih ada juga di sini ya, for leadership of the herd. Menjadi pimpinan dalam kawanan rusa di situ ya. Jadi masih masuk di sini ya. Benar. Dan kemudian opsi yang D, to climb the branches ya, untuk apa namanya, memanjat ya, untuk memanjat pohon di sini. Nah, ini yang kurang tepat ya. Jadi opsi D di sini yang bentuk pengecualian atau tidak yang disebutkan dalam bacaan bahwa fungsi antlersnya adalah to climb branches ya. Oke, betul. Number 5 the answer is delta. Oke. And then number 6 ya. Oke, let's see. Maybe the picture is not very clear ya. Ya. Jadi kalau yang A di sini itu belum muncul untuk apa namanya antlers-nya. Jadi ini gundul sama sekali ya, tidak ada. Kemudian untuk yang B, ini dia antlers-nya mulai muncul tetapi hanya sedikit. Ya, baru muncul tapi baru sedikit. Ya, oke. Untuk yang C itu sudah tumbuh dengan sempurna. Ya, that's grown perfectly. And then D, here the antlers are what is it? Fall. Ya, fallen ya. Fallen di sini. Nah, so let's see here ya. Gambar mana yang sesuai dengan deer's antlers in the late spring. Nah, kata kuncinya ada pada kata late spring ya di sini. Ada kata late spring. Kita lihat dalam bacaan ada ini ya. Late spring. Nah, late spring di situ dia keterangannya adalah deer generally lose their antlers each winter. Ya, jadi untuk yang winter itu mungkin sesuai dengan yang D di sini. Atau yang A di sini ya, D itu pada saat proses ketika antlersnya gugur, ya. Kemudian yang A itu gundul sama sekali tidak ada antlersnya. Nah, baru kemudian begin growing new ones, mulai tumbuh baru lagi di akhir musim semi ya di sini. Jadi yang B jawabannya ya di sini B ya. Oke, correct. Next one, in which month would a deer probably have short velvety antlers? Ya, oke. Nah ini mungkin termasuk dalam sedikit implied ya di sini pada short velvety antlers. Nah, the new antlers are soft knot ya, oke, with velvety hairs. Oke, so pada musim ya late spring ya di sini. Jadi jawabannya yang paling tepat di sini adalah yang alpha ya pada bulan Mei di sini ya. Nah, jadi saat right now ya, so that's the May. Nah, ini mulai tumbuh di sini untuk antlers-nya. Oke. Next one, solid ya, in line 6 bisa digantikan atau sinonim dengan kata apa di sini ya? Kata solid ya. So number 8, solid, line 6. Nah, solid branches ya. So solid adalah kukuh ya, kuat, apa namanya ya, teguh ya di situ, kuat ya. Jadi lebih cocok diganti dengan kata firm ya, mempunyai sinonim dengan kata firm ya, a ya. Thin tidak ya, kurus ya, leafy tidak juga ya, tiny juga bukan. Oke. And then number 9, oke, mulai pertanyaan menggunakan where question di sini yang barusan kita pelajari skillnya. The author explain how a deer uses its antlers. Pada baris mana bisa kita ketahui bahwa bagaimana rusa itu menggunakan tanduknya di sini. Ya, pada baris ke ini ya, tadi ada beberapa alasan di sini. Nah, pertama untuk bertarung. Kedua, untuk mencari pasangan di sini, dan ketiga untuk menunjukkan kepemimpinan ya pada kawanannya. Jadi lebih ke baris yang awal ya, baris kedua dan baris ketiga. Ya, that's right. Lines 2 until 3. Okay. Alright. And the last one. Okay. Click on the sentence in the passage that describes what happens to a deer's antlers halfway through winter. Okay. Ya. Tadi responnya apa ya? Nomor 10 sudah agak ke atas di sini. I lose your track. Oh, belum ada yang menjawab ya, number 10. Oke, silakan dijawab dulu. Number 10. Belum ada yang menjawab di sini. Number 10. So the keyword here is halfway through winter ya, halfway to winter ya. Belum screenshot. Oke, ya, halfway to winter ya. Ya. So ini langsung jawabannya di sini ya. Nah, oke. In the middle of winter, the full-grown antlers fall off and decay. Ini adalah fall off and decay on the ground. Okay. So this is the answer. Click on the sentence. Yeah. So the sentence is in paragraph 1 ya. Paragraph 1 sentence. Sentence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ya. Sentence 6 here. Yeah. Okay, yes. So from number 1 until number 10, as usual, I want you to send me how many correct answers that you made. Okay, 1 until 10. Nomor 4, jawabannya apa? Mainly adalah primarily, ya, primarily tadi, number 4. Ya. Ada backing sound-nya siapa ya di sini? Ya, television or okay, how many correct answers? 8 out of 10. Okay, thank you, Ufaisa Sain. Yeah. Okay, Mbak Loken. Agak galau, 9 out of 10 ya. Okay, 8 out of 10, Mas Michael, thank you. 9 out of 10, ya Pak Ramasdin, thank you. Okay, ya. Ya. Oke. Ada 14 participants di sini yang sudah bergabung. Oke. Dan ini merupakan pertemuan terakhir kita. Dan harapan saya semoga di sini pertama dari pertemuan pertama sampai dengan pertemuan ke-24, semoga saja apa yang telah kita pelajari bersama di sini dapat memberikan manfaat bagi semuanya. Pertama itu, dan yang kedua adalah sebenarnya saya ingin untuk meminta semacam feedback ya dari teman-teman sekalian di sini. Mungkin apa yang perlu kita tingkatkan dalam program ini, kalau mungkin ke depannya program ini akan dilanjutkan untuk sesi 2, begitu. Ya. Jadi bisa silakan salah satu atau salah 2 dari antara teman-teman yang ingin mau menyampaikan pesan dan kesan bagi kami di sini untuk program kursus TOEFL 20 kali pertemuan di sini. Semoga bisa membawa perubahan ketika kita mengadakan sesi berikutnya dengan program yang lebih baik tentunya ya di sini. Oke. Silahkan, ada yang mau untuk menyampaikan pendapat di sini? Atau mungkin bisa lewat chat box di sini. Dan mungkin juga bisa untuk menyampaikan harapan apa yang mungkin teman-teman sekalian ingin wujudkan di pertemuan berikutnya apabila memang masih memungkinkan untuk kita mengadakan sesi kedua dari kursus kita kali ini. Ya, oke. Oke, ya. Saya mungkin bukan namanya di sini, Moto E di sini. Kalau nanti IELTS, apakah sama modulnya, Sir? Oke, untuk IELTS sendiri tentu akan menggunakan modul yang berbeda. Tapi kalau mungkin maksud Anda di sini adalah penerbitnya, begitu mungkin ada dari penerbit yang sama dengan yang saya pergunakan untuk TOEFL di sini ya, mungkin begitu maksudnya. Oke. Kemudian untuk Mbak Lauren, I believe that this is a compliment for us. Ya, so pembelajarannya sudah keren, penjelasannya juga enak, gampang dimengerti. Ya, oke, thank you. So if this brings you benefits, so we would like to appreciate that. Ya, oke. Ada lagi mungkin dari teman-teman, harapannya apa? Rencana saya untuk yang sesi kedua kita akan berlatih soal-soal langsung ke soal TOEFL yang sesungguhnya, meskipun itu TOEFL Light ya di situ. Nah, kemudian kita bisa membahas soal tersebut pada saat pertemuan ini berlangsung. Tapi kita akan lebih mengharapkan kerjasamanya dengan participants di sini, karena pada sesi tatap muka seperti ini langsung kita akan membahas dan tidak akan ada kesempatan lagi untuk mengerjakan soalnya. Jadi soalnya akan dikerjakan sebelum sesi tatap muka ini berlangsung. Jadi soal akan kita bagikan mungkin 2 atau 3 hari sebelumnya, sebelum kita tatap muka maya seperti ini. Jadi pada tatap muka maya kita akan bisa langsung membahas soal yang sudah kita berikan sebelumnya. Begitu. Ya. Oke, ya. Oke, sudah ada beberapa yang masuk di sini. Oke, thank you Mas Yovna untuk komennya di sini. Pembelajarannya sudah bagus. Harapannya dapat berlatih soal-soal yang bagian structure. Oke, ya. Cukup menantang sebenarnya untuk bagian structure ya di sini. Ada dari Ufaisa saya di sini penjelasannya mudah dimengerti. Harapannya bisa lanjut sesi 2. Oke, terima kasih tanggapan positifnya di sini. Untuk Miss Betty, harapannya di sini kita bisa berlatih soal-soal. Oke, sangat membantu. Oke. Saya punya cukup banyak soal-soal di sini, bisa kita jadwalkan nanti ya, kalau bila memungkinkan di sini. Oke, Mbak Leoni di sini khususnya bagus. Oke, banyak yang belum diketahui sebelum kursus, sekarang jadi banyak dimengerti karena penjelasannya. Oke, ya, thank you for your compliments here. Mas Daniel, oke, thank you. Ya, terima kasih kembali Mas Daniel sudah bergabung ya. Ada Mbak Gina di sini. Oke, pembelajarannya mudah dimengerti. Ya, vocab-nya nanti bisa ditambah dengan banyak membaca ya, Mbak Gina ya di sini. Oke, sudah oke pembelajarannya. Ya, syukurlah. Oke. So I will be very glad to listen all of your constructive criticisms and also your suggestion along with your compliments especially ya. Jadi harapannya kita bisa bertemu kembali besok. Kita akan mengabari via email seperti biasa apabila memang kita dimungkinkan untuk tatap muka berikutnya. Ya, oke, baik. Ya, oke. Ya, terima kasih semuanya. Ya, oke. Ya, saya akhiri pertemuan kali ini dan kita ada di masih edisi Lebaran ya di sini. Bagi teman-teman YouTube yang menonton, ini kita ada di edisi Lebaran. Jadi perkenankan saya mengucapkan minal aidin wal faizin, mohon maaf lahir dan batin di sini. Untuk semuanya saja, selamat bertemu di sesi berikutnya. Terima kasih, selamat sore. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.